Hello, welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I'm Terry. This is Jen. Hello, my name is Jennifer. And yes, I'm sorry if that excellent impression fooled you. Jen is not actually here. It's me. I've been abandoned. I'm flying solo, but that's okay. The topics are deleted. For some reason, Sony has seen fit to delete, I think it was about 500 movies from people's hard drives that they'd already bought, and Sony was just, thank you for the money. You don't get to keep those. We'll keep the money though. Driving, some Asian woman, I think her name's Extra Emily or something like that. She almost got into an accident while streaming and driving, which just makes all those stereotypes about Asian drivers very, very true. And Dirthright Citizenship, I'm sure you can tell there was a Supreme Court decision supporting birthright citizenship. JB is saying it's Canada Day. That might be why Jen's not here. Maybe that would be a good excuse, I suppose. But yes, there was a Supreme Court ruling 5-4, I think it was, to keep birthright citizenship, which I think is completely nonsensical. And I was also going to touch on the air conditioning thing, which, yes, I am, Keeve. Jen will be here soon at some point, I'm sure, but she's not here yet. But yes, the air conditioning thing is very funny, where all of the Europeans are going through a heat wave, and they seem to have some sort of a moral objection to air conditioning, which I don't understand. But, you know, if they want to suffer in the heat, let them. But I think that's highly entertaining. Insert Nellie's Ride with Me. I don't know the words to that, but JB says she's so far north she probably has missed it. Maybe. But no. I know the song Ride With Me by Nelly. I don't know the lyrics to it. I don't know what point you're exactly trying to make with it, but yes, hello, Silver Ravenwing. And hello to Kivadam and JB, and I'll even say hi to Tier, even though I don't think he's still in chat. So JB says, if you want to go and get a ride with Smoke and I in the back on the Ben Z. Okay, so that is just complete gibberish. So either JB has had a stroke or Nelly had a stroke when he was writing that song. I'm just going to assume that it's Nelly. Okay, so that's apparently a lowercase L. That's still gibberish. I'm sure Nelly knew what he was trying to say, but I don't. That's Smoke an L in the back of the Benzie, and why do I feel this good? Okay, JB says he speaks Drive. Okay, well, you guys can discuss Nelly's lyrics in chat. I will do my best to stay on topic. So yes, with the deleted thing, I think it's very, very funny that basically Sony is like, yeah, we'll just take those back. Thanks for the money. You don't get to keep the movies though, and so now there's a huge. Yes, I am Tier. I'm not sure where Jen is. But yes, all of the online discussion seems to be the if buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't stealing. And normally I'm not a huge fan of piracy, but in this situation, it is 100% justified. If you paid for your copy of whatever movie and then Sony just stole it back from you, you are completely within your rights to go to a certain bay of pirates and acquire yourself another copy. And hello to Casual. And JB says piracy seems more tempting now. I have two basic rules when it comes to piracy, though this situation has added a third. My previous two rules were anything that is more than 20 years old. So if you've got like a video game that was on the PS2 or the PS3, pirate, who cares? They're not making any money from that stuff. The other thing is, if there's no way to legally obtain it without jumping through a whole bunch of hoops, like if you have to go buy like a Japanese like a Japanese Super Famicom and spend 6 years learning Japanese, and like if you got to do all that to get a legitimate copy, then no, just pirate. But the third copy is if you buy something and then the company steals it back from you, you're also allowed to pirate. I don't have a problem with that either. Yes, exactly, Silver Ravenwing. If you pay $50 for, well, anything, in this case it was movies, but I'm sure they'll try and do the same with games. It's your game. They shouldn't have the right to take it back from you. Yeah, exactly, yeah. I think if you've paid for a game once, it's not even piracy at that point. It's a backup. And the same with movies. If you've paid, if you own the movie on DVD, there's nothing wrong with downloading a backup copy. And if you bought a copy of a movie through Sony for whatever reason, and they stole it off of you, you have still bought that movie. I don't have a problem with anyone going off and downloading a replacement copy because they were stolen from. There's like no ambiguity to the situation. JB says, my samurai films are rare, so I've written them to my computer in case the disc breaks. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. If you're copying your own disc, that is not piracy. That's you just making an online backup. That's fine. But yes, so my stance on piracy is if it's easy and reasonable to get a legitimate copy, then do that. Like Steam exists, so I'm not going to go out and pirate a game when I can just buy it on Steam. But I'm not going to buy a Nintendo Switch 2 and whatever online services I need just to replay Super Mario World. Like that's not necessary. Just use an emulator for something like that. Fairly uncontroversial opinion, I would think, but there's all sorts of crazies online. But yeah, so the other one, driving, is something that Jesse Cox, of all people, has changed my mind on. Because originally I was like, if you're streaming and driving at the same time, that's fucking insane. You are going to kill someone, and that is horrific and needs to be banned. But then Jesse Cox actually convinced me. He said, cars are dangerous machines, and if someone dies, the lawsuit against Twitch will kill the site. Now, if killing Twitch is on the table, maybe there's something to this. Maybe more Twitch streamers need to stream while driving. Try not to kill anyone, but if you could maybe rough them up a bit, get an injury severe enough that they're willing to sue Twitch. I think Jesse Cox has a point. We should be encouraging this. We need to get this site taken down. JB says, did they say they would do that to the PS5? I haven't heard them explicitly say that they would do that to the PS5, but honestly, at this point, you'd be surprised if they did. And Keith says, I don't have to worry about being talked over. This is true. That's one thing I'm free from. JB says, interesting take. I don't know how I honestly feel other than don't run people over with cars. Well, she wasn't trying to run anyone over. She was streaming and not paying attention. So she tried to change lanes, and there was a car in that lane. And then she didn't have a collision or anything. She just almost did because she wasn't paying attention. And then she's just like, oops, my bad. That was my fault. I should have, And Twitch, in their infinite wisdom, suspended her for almost a full day. I think it was 23 hours and 59 minutes or something like that. So good job, Emily. Good job, Twitch. Wonderful, wonderful going there. And no, it's not good, but hey, anything that gets Twitch taken down is a technical victory in my books. Reckless homicide is a crime. 3D reckless behavior. Yeah. No one died. No one even got hurt, as far as I'm aware. This was just an almost collision where She went to change lanes, and then there was a car there. She realized at the last second and didn't. But yeah, someone will get killed if people continue to stream while driving. Like, you're not even supposed to be on the phone while you're driving. Never mind reading chat. That's insane. Uh, Keith says it still happens to me on TikTok since there are 9 to 10 boxes. I'm not sure what you mean by that. A blind spot? No, it wasn't. It wasn't even a blind spot, Keith. She was just reading chat. She was not paying attention to the road. She was just like, dee 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 dee, time to change lanes, and there was a car. There's just a car in the lane. She's like, oh, maybe I should not turn into that car. That was my fault. Sorry, sorry, sorry. I was like, you're gonna be sorry. Because it's not even the first time she's done this. It's like the third time she's almost had a car crash while streaming, and Twitch has given her like a 24-hour suspension. It's absolutely insane. Keith says 9 to 10 people on a live panel. Ooh, yeah, that is not for me. I think maybe four, maybe five is where I'm going to tap out. 9 to 10 people, unless it's something like Quippers United, where we're basically just playing a game and it's not really about having a conversation. But a talking stream with 10 people, fuck that. No chance in hell. Tia says she needs a producer to do those car streams or drive in an empty road. Or she just not needs to stream at home. Like, you don't need to stream in your car. There's no reason to do that. And JB says, "Broom, broom, I'm in my mum's car." Yes, I remember that. I don't know why that was so popular, but yeah, it was. Silver Ravening, to be 100% fair, Twitch keeps people on. Should have been banned ages ago. Yeah. There's that Turkish guy, something Piker, likes terrorists. Yeah, he should have been banned several times over, but he makes Twitch a lot of money, so they're willing to look the other way, and he's ideologically aligned, so that makes it even harder to get rid of him. I think money is probably the only reason Asman is still around on that site, assuming that he is. I don't watch Twitch, but I assume he's still around on Twitch. But yeah, if they could get rid of Asman, they 100% would. But he makes them a ton of money, so they're not going to get rid of him. Oh, okay. Kiwi's saying, funnily enough, an Aussie guy on those panels tends to be loud and cut people off. There's rude people in all countries. That's not unique to any one group. Silver Ravenwing says that, and his uncle is Cenk Uygur, I think is correct. Yes. Cenk is his uncle. That is how Hassan Piker got his job with the Young Turks, and that's how he made a name for himself before he then went on as a independent solo streamer. Yes, he is definitely a Nepo baby, as much as he doesn't like people pointing that out. And yes, so yeah, my stance is, like, obviously I'm being facetious when I say it's worth killing someone in a car just to get Twitch taken down. No, don't get into vehicular accidents or stream while driving at all. This is horrifically stupid. I do hate Twitch, but it's not worth killing people just to get the site taken down. Keith says that she and the Aussie guy are friends. Oh, that's nice. That's good. JB's brain is kaput after the holiday. I think after this, I'll go watch The Great Killing. I don't know what that is, but yes, I could have guessed it was probably a samurai film. I do know that you like those. Kivadin is saying, yeah, it's not just Yanks who are allowed. Yeah, no, of course it's not. It's all over the place. There's even places like Japan, which have a reputation for being very polite. There's going to be loudmouth Japanese people. There's rude, loud people in all societies. They're unavoidable. JB says Canadians are assholes too. Oh, yes. There's that Della Hazed guy. There's nothing but bad things about that guy. He's a real troublemaker. There's that Jen lady who doesn't even show up to streams. Lots of bad news Canadians running around. Can't trust any of them. Oh, speaking of Canadians,
sorry I was late. I forgot it was Wednesday. I was kind of sick this morning. Took a really, 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 really long nap, and then kind of thought I slept through it.
Yeah, well, it was actually very good timing because people were saying Canadians can be assholes too. I was like, yeah, some of them don't even turn up to streams.
No, I was really sick.
No, that's okay. So hopefully you're feeling better now.
Yeah. Well, long nap helped. Long nap helped, and then woke up to my brother babbling to me. I'm like, oh no. No. You gotta see, I'm not a coffee person necessarily. I'm an hour to comprehend that I'm awake kind of person.
Oh, okay.
If that makes more sense.
Yeah. But just because you probably would have missed it, the topics are Sony deletes a bunch of movies that people had already bought. Extra Emily was almost in a car crash because she was streaming and driving.
Yeah, and she's crashy.
Oh, yes. And Birthright Citizenship, the Supreme Court had a ruling, I think it was 5-4 in favor of keeping Birthright Citizenship, which I think is insane.
Yeah.
But, those are the topics. And I also had as an unofficial topic the whole air conditioning thing where Europeans are having a heat wave and still refuse to get air conditioning for pride reasons, I think. They don't want to.
I don't think it's that. I think it's their elites being shit for brains because they all have air conditioning, Terry.
Oh, the elites do. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want the plebs or the poor to have them because then they'd be like America.
But I've seen Europeans defending this on Twitter, so that's why I'm saying it's like it is the EU imposing a lot of bullshit, but there's a lot of Europeans who are like insisting that they don't need air conditioning.
I would send them back the videos I saw the other day of China. Their pigs get air conditioning.
Yes. But the idiots in Europe are saying, as Silver Ravening points out, they're blaming America for the heat wave. They're saying that Americans using air conditioning is moving all the heat out of America and into Europe. And that's not how that works.
No, that's like as stupid as you can get. I've been saying for the longest time that Europe, as much as they claim that they're more intelligent, they aren't.
No.
They're better at remembering their own history than the US, but when it comes to like general knowledge, they're not. They're very not.
Well, I mean,
some are. I've met people who run circles around me.
Yeah. No, but I think just in general, I think anyone who goes through public education is at a massive disadvantage because the government can't do anything right, least of all educate kids. So
basically, yeah.
I don't recommend anyone go to a public school if they can at all avoid it.
You'd get a way better education. Just, I don't like saying homeschooling because some people are pretty dumb, but like if you're intelligent enough as a person, have enough of a general education, yeah, you probably do better than most schools.
Yeah, I think homeschooling is going to result in a better education. There might be concerns about socializing because, I mean, unless you do something like all the kids in the neighborhood go to the same parent who does the homeschooling, that would work. But if each parent educates their own kid, then there might be socialization problems because one of the few benefits that school does provide is it forces kids to be more social and develop those social skills.
Learn how to get along with people.
Yeah. Keith says it's 31 degrees Celsius. That's pretty hot. Like, I'm Australian and I can recognize that's hot. That is hot.
Yeah, we've had rain. Everyone complaining about the heat. I've been like, oh yeah, we had rain.
Yeah. Well,
so
I do not have any concerns with it being too hot. It is winter where I am, so it's quite the opposite problem.
I like to joke that my province is physically sarcastic. And so while other places in Canada are technically on fire, like my understanding is parts of Saskatchewan and maybe a little bit of Manitoba is on fire, Alberta was like, no, you are not going to light us on fire anymore. We're going to risk flooding.
Okay.
So we're risking flooding in like 5 different places in my province. Like I heard a news story over the weekend where people who went out for camping are kind of stuck on the other side of the river because it kind of blew away the road. Like, shit. Well, hopefully you guys have places you can go on the other side. Like if it's too far to go around, but you can still get to a store or something.
Yeah.
If you've got enough camping gear, you're fine. It's just food.
He's asking, Canada is still burning.
We get fires, yeah. It's fire season anyway, because a lot of Canada is not too different from the U.S. We've got a lot of large fields and then mountains and things. So you get more seasonal fires in the spring because you get more storms.
No.
Storms come with lightning.
I know my mental image of Canada. It's nothing but ice and snow. There's not even grass. You're just living basically in the North Pole. It's like just on a block of ice. That's how Canada works. I've been reliably informed.
Yeah, sometimes we have a longer raining season depending on which province you're in, and I'm in the one that gets those, so I'm like, yay. But I'd rather have those than what they get on the coast, which they get hurricanes and more tornadoes.
Oh, that does not sound good.
So I'm like, you know what? I'll take it. We do get the odd tornado here, but like they don't get big enough to cause the kind of damage you would see in the U.S.
Well, I've never once seen a tornado in my life, so I've been either extremely lucky or Australia is not prone to tornadoes, but. We just burn down every year instead.
Yeah, I've only ever seen a tornado up here go after like trailer parks because it's the rule of thumb with all tornadoes is that they hate trailer parks for some reason.
Yeah, I've heard that.
But Saskatchewan got it pretty hard last month, but it's usually just Saskatchewan makes sense. Saskatchewan is like half of the province is flatlands, and then the other half is mountains. So when you're just talking the flatlands, like that's where we have so many grain growers in Saskatchewan, is because that's all that's there is flatland,
Okay.
But like they do get more tornadoes because of it. Like there's nothing to really block it, no mountains.
Yeah,
I mean they have trees and stuff, but that's just kind of how it is. And then
JB says, does Australia get tornadoes? I guess there might be some in some parts of the country. I've never experienced one. So
I would imagine
in 45 years, I've never experienced a tornado. So my part of Australia does apparently not get them.
I would imagine if you see something that would be like a tornado, it's probably going to be in your desert area.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So those would be like dirt devils.
Yeah. I could understand that there's tornadoes in like the Simpson Desert or something like that. That may very well be. I've never been to the desert. I don't want to go to the desert.
Well, it's just when you think a tornado or like wind problems in a desert, yeah, you don't want to see a sandstorm. No. I don't want to see a sandstorm.
No, I don't like sand. I mean, I don't even like going to the beach because of the sand. It's horrible. When I went to Tenerife, the sand on those beaches, I didn't mind. It's black sand instead of the yellow sand.
Okay.
And the black sand is completely different. Like it doesn't stick to your skin. Like how like if you come out of the water and you walk on the beach, you get sand all over your body. It doesn't do that in the black sand. It is completely. It just like falls off of you.
It's a different mineral.
Yeah, it's completely different. It's totally different. I think it's like volcanic ash or something like that.
That's what I thought it would be. Like
yeah.
Because if you think of like yellow sand, it's a lot of yellow sand has little bits of quartz in it.
Yeah. So yeah, when I was in Tenerife, I had absolutely no problem with that sand. And in England, they just don't have sand at all. They've got pebbles on the beaches. So I mean, I would rather just avoid the beach entirely. But if I have to go to the beach, I would rather there not be yellow sand at that beach.
And Silver Raven says she's in Oklahoma, one of those places that get the F5s. And that's where you're like sitting in your house, and then all of a sudden the house is gone, and you're like, how am I not dead?
Yeah. And Frosted in chat says, when you get buried in black sand, your wallet is missing when you get out.
I don't know if that's true, but science.
Yes. And is it JB says PEI, Prince Edward Island, I'm assuming he means, has white sand. By white sand, is that the same as yellow sand? Because I've heard it referred to as white sand before, but to me it's yellow.
It is a paler sand. I think I don't know if it's it again. It's just a different mix of minerals.
Could be, yeah.
But yeah, I've seen whiter sand.
Okay, and yeah, JB is confirming he did mean Prince Edward Island. Okay, I'm halfway to being a Canadian already.
They tend to have a little bit warmer springs than we do because they're more humid.
Okay.
They're Prince Edward is an island. Well, I say an island, but I call the UK an island too. So,
well, I mean, I think the UK is technically an island. I mean, that makes sense to me. It's
just every time I call them an island, I get grief for it. I'm like, do you think we're an island? And I'm like,
yes.
Comparison to where I live, yeah.
Well, not even no. I mean, Australia is an island. It's an incredibly big island, but it is still an island. I don't think there's any problem with saying the UK is. I mean, it definitionally is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Frosted says everything he knows about Canada he learnt from South Park. Well, I mean, that's basically fact. I mean...
Oh.
And hello to Blue White Scream, who's just joined us.
Well, the thing is with us is we still do air conditioning here.
Yeah, everyone should. It's just common sense.
Like even with the UK and Europe, for some people I could understand holding back on it because it is how your building is designed, like your home and all that. Like I've seen modern buildings in Europe too. I've seen modern buildings in UK too. But like if you have like an older building, like a legitimately old building, you do kind of have to rearrange some of the window to fit an air conditioner, even the portable ones. But I mean, anyone with like a little bit of woodworking can do that. Like
I mean, you don't even need like a full industrial like air conditioning. Like I've just got a small air conditioner that like all I do is the cold air comes out one side, the hot air comes out the other side. Whichever side I don't want in my home, I point that out the window, and then it works. That's the system. It would probably be more effective if I had it like properly installed and everything, but it does the job. It makes it more or less hot, depending on which I need.
It's the idea that they're blaming the U.S. for this shit. I'm like, okay, I hate to break it to you. If the U.S. is sending heat waves your way, it has nothing to do with their air conditioning.
Yeah. Well, first of all, hello to Tall Person and Johnny in chat. And I think what's happened is they've got a basic understanding of how air conditioning works, but they've completely misjudged the scale of how it works.
Yeah.
It is true that air conditioning takes the heat from inside and moves it outside. That is how that works. That there's like it
does. But
it doesn't do it to such a degree that Americans having air conditioning is going to cause a heat wave in fucking Europe. Like that's not quite how that works. It doesn't do it on that scale. It's going to make the outside, 0.00001 degrees hotter because you have your air conditioner on.
I think it's one of those things where I think some of the Europeans are assuming that Americans are exaggerating their heat when the Americans explain how hot it can be in the states that really, really get hot.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, no, you really need to travel more, Europeans. Like, actually get out of your stony old brick house and travel a little bit, because if you travel to certain states, yeah, you will kill yourself because it is that hot. You do got to get into an air conditioned area,
Yeah,
and
when
that's why they have it.
I was in Nevada, Las Vegas,
Yeah,
and God, it was hot down there.
I
Like
could,
that, like
like there's some places that I'm like, I won't go unless it's like winter, because at least then it's cooler. But yeah, no.
yeah, because like I'm used to the heat, obviously being from Australia, and even I was like, God damn, this is hot. This is like, I wouldn't be surprised if it was, almost 40 degrees Celsius. Like it was hot, hot. It wasn't just 31 is like hot, but 40 is like holy shit, it's hot.
Like they reach into the 50s if you're just doing Celsius talk for certain states. Like if I think back a couple of years with my favorite story with Cryptic, and that one time he sent a durian fruit to
Yes, that's it.
when it was stuck in Texas, it was like 115 to 118 degrees in Texas. So like that's
Yeah,
like
I don't know. I don't know Fahrenheit, so I don't know. But that sounds
that's in the
probably,
50s. That's in the 50s.
oh fucking hell, that's insane.
Yeah, so like if a durian fruit, which is a fruit that comes from a tropical place, is melting from it, that's hot.
Yeah, and Frosted is saying, I love the idea that air conditioning putting out heat causes global warming because it implies turning the AC to face outside would reverse global warming, which is true. That is the implication.
I just think what the Europeans should do, the ones who aren't stupid, they should go to every elite house and disable theirs.
Yes, yes. Well, that was what V was saying. It's interesting how Ursula von der Leyen gets to have air conditioning in her office, but the plebs on the lower floors, they fuck them. They don't need comfort.
And then knowing that it's leading to so many deaths, like what this week was like 1,900 people. Yes, I know
Yeah.
they're elderly and stuff, but like that makes it worse. That actually makes it worse. Like, are you preying on your elderly?
Yeah, no, they do want old people to die because the old people still have old world values, and that's not going to jive well with the push towards communism. So kill off all the oldies, and then brainwash the young people, and then there'll be a lot less resistance. So that is actually their actual plan. Like if you tell them you can't do this, you'll kill millions of old people. They're like, where do I sign? I need this to happen yesterday.
And so lately, I know this is a little bit of a distracted comment, but lately I've been watching clips from this movie that the left is trying to hide now, called Citizen Vigilante.
The Uwe Boll movie that, yeah, I haven't seen it, but I heard about it. People were complaining.
When you actually watch into what it is that they're talking about in the movie, yeah, that's what that's leading towards. So it's basically a citizen who's just like, I'm so fucking tired of the left bullshit causing harm. Like bringing in so many migrants that it's just overlooked the harm that they've caused.
Yes.
Like the excessive cruelty from the left. Yeah, it is leading to somebody probably snapping.
It's not often that I'm going to give credit to Uwe Boll because he's like famous for making the worst movies known to mankind on purpose. Like his whole goal is to get money from the government for like, because they subsidize failed art projects.
Yeah.
So if you make a movie and it doesn't make any money, you can go to the government and get like funding. And so that's his literal business strategy is make movies that will fail on purpose because he gets government money in subsidies. And also Blue Ice Cream mentions pensions. That is the other reason they're happy to kill off old people. Yes. Yes. But yeah, so as funny as it is that Uwe Boll is, trending for a good reason, I still remember him as the guy who challenged all his critics to boxing matches. Like anyone who said his movies were bad, he would challenge them to a boxing match. and not tell them that he's an amateur trained boxer. So he would just like beat the shit out of them. And there's a guy called Sean Baby, and he's actually also a trained mixed martial artist. And as soon as Uwe Boll found out that that was the case, he's like, "We don't need to do the boxing match. Let's cancel that particular one." So, there's a lot of reasons why people have a negative opinion of Uwe Boll, but I think this might redeem him.
Well, it's one of those things where sometimes a person can just say out loud what a lot of people are thinking, and they do it in a movie, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, yeah, I've been thinking that. I mean, I wouldn't go out and do any of the things in that movie. It's basically a guy who's angry at current day society taking revenge on people. And I'm like,
yeah.
I understand
immigrants, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Basically, they mass raped a girl, and he killed them all. And I was like, yeah, I can kind of understand why people liked it. I know that there's a part of them that's like, I shouldn't. It is leading to murder, but
yeah, no. I mean, Frosted in chat says that he watched the movie. They forgot to give it a plot. The funny thing is, people would few people would even know about it if it weren't for countries banning it and causing a Streisand effect. Yeah, that's always the case. They never realize that banning things just makes them more popular.
Yeah.
You'd think by now it would be common knowledge, but they just never seem to figure it out.
Well, that's the left. They need to control the language, and they don't understand that the minute you try to control the language, everyone's like, so what was this about?
Yeah. I mean, the whole reason that, retarded is making a comeback is because there was such a strong push to ban anyone from saying it. And so people were just like, no, I'm going to say it. And there's words that I still can't say on this channel, but the stigma surrounding them is lessening. Like, there was a time where if you said maggot, the bundle of sticks, or bigger, the African American gentleman, your tweet would just get censored immediately. Like, a robot would just instantly censor it. You can say both of those words on Twitter now. I think it might still be context dependent. Like, if you call someone those terms in like a derogatory, aggressive way, it might censor that as hateful conduct, but you won't get dinged just for saying the word anymore. And JB wants me to try and pronounce some things, so I'll give it a shot. So he's saying Akira Kurosawa, Hideo Gosha, Hiroshi Inagaki, some good directors. LOL. Good luck pronouncing those, Terry. So I hope I got it right.
You did all right. You're gonna have an accent. That's what I've learned when you're an English-speaking person learning a different language. Yeah, you're the one with the accent now.
Yeah. It's literally everybody has an accent. It's just, who are you surrounded by? So, like, Scottish people don't think that they have accents if they're in Scotland and everyone has the same accent as them. And Frosted is saying, I know Gunsky is very appreciative of all the changes to Twitter. Oh yeah, Gunsky hates it. Gunsky's not complaining about the ideological shift. He's quite happy that the censorship is diminishing. He just doesn't like all the technological issues where, for a while, like, he was just not able to post on Twitter because of some misguided system thinking he was a bot.
I mean, he could be. I'm kidding. Sorry, Jack. I had to make a joke.
And JB is saying I was pretty much spot on with my pronunciations. Okay, excellent. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, that's why I didn't think you did badly. Like, I don't know what the accent would sound like to a Japanese person. I really couldn't.
Like, I don't even hear Australian accents. To me, that's how you talk. Mm-hmm. But obviously, if you're Canadian, then I do have an accent. If you're American, then I do have an accent.
I just mean from the perspective of somebody who speaks a different language. I wouldn't know. Like, that's kind of what made me weary with French. is sometimes you can tell when you're trying to speak a language that you suck, and
Oh
sometimes
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
and sometimes you'll pronounce maybe one or two words where you're like, that sounded okay, but you don't know unless you ask a French person. And sometimes they'll
Yes.
be nice and be like, that one was good. The other one was shit. Don't use the other one. You
Yeah,
know? And that's what
um,
you're hoping for.
there is a Twitter account. It's some VTuber Nakone or something like that. She's a Japanese girl trying to learn how to speak English, and it's so funny just hearing how she speaks, how she attempts to say English words. It's like octopus was the thing, and it's like okatapusu,
Yeah.
and it's like she gave herself credit for getting it right because I mean she knew the word, she just pronounced it in a very Japanese way.
That's the way I feel about it. Like I don't doubt that when I try to speak their language to them, that I probably sound just as janky.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm sure if you had someone from Japan listen to me try and say those names that JB put in chat, they'd be like, "Who is this guy? Who's this? Well, but how is he butchering our language so badly?"
No, I think you did all right. Like it's one of those things where like unless you're listening to their accent like over and over again, and even then,
Yeah,
Japan has different accents too.
yeah. I mean, I listen to Japanese because I play video games. Some of them are in Japanese and have English subtitles, like the Yakuza series. I don't know a single. Well, I shouldn't say I don't know a single word. I know like konnichiwa and arigato, but I know very very little Japanese. I couldn't speak it at all, but I've listened to a lot of it just because I play video games that are in Japanese, and you know that's exposure, I guess.
JB was calling a Chinese student the wrong name. He should have told
Yeah,
you sooner. He
he
should
should
have,
have.
but I'm sure you felt bad. Like, oh well, I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, I know that a lot of Asian countries do the thing where the family name is written before the like first name. So like in Yakuza, I'll just use that as the example. The main character is Kazuma Kiryu, but in the game they write Kiryu Kazuma because Kiryu is his surname, like his family name. And so a lot of people for the longest time thought Kiryu was his first name until the translation actually specifically spelled out, no, 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 that's his family name. So yeah, I I'm not very good at speaking other languages. I know like words here and there, but no, I'm pretty monolingual.
I would need to do a full immersion to really get it, at least
Yeah,
enough to make sense out of it. And I learned that with the Quebec French. I'm like, they don't teach it to you that way. Like you'd have to go to Quebec to do it. It's basically just this word means horse. This word means
yeah.
red. And
Um,
and that's a starting point, but it's not the same as immersion.
well, from what I've been told, there's a guy, a YouTube channel called Think Before You Sleep, and he speaks Japanese. He's like he taught himself Japanese, and he was saying that those apps that like teach you one word at a time, they are literally useless. That is not how you learn another language. It is not going to like you can't listen to someone talk and then mentally translate every individual word. That's not how it works. You will not be able to ever learn the language if you're using like Duolingo or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You need like proper
The now and
lessons.
yeah, it's the now. No, no, it's the experience of it too. Like if
Yeah.
you're
So he was saying like buy books in Japanese, like kids books in Japanese, and like start with those, and then you know, eventually you work your way up, and then you can start watching anime without subtitles. And every time you don't know what they're saying, you pause, you look it up, and then gradually you build a more natural, cohesive sort of understanding of the language rather than going, oh, the word kawaii means cute. Okay, now I know that word. That's useless. That's not how you learn a language at all. Yeah, Johnny Hellcat saying the same thing. Duolingo is good to learn individual words, but conversational Japanese is way different. It's the same with every language. Like if you learn English by only learning individual words, you'll never be able to speak it. It's just not how you learn foreign languages.
That's why I liked with immersion. A lot of immersions will have you starting in a job where it is customer service, and it's not to degrade or belittle a person. It's because in customer service, you're forced to do a couple things. You're forced to learn how to greet people.
Mm-hmm.
You have to learn cash, which is learning how to count in their money.
Yeah.
Which is one of the first things you kind of want to know. And then it teaches you a chance to learn their ingredients.
Oh yeah.
Like the names of certain items that they're buying, you know. So you'll learn things like, okay, well, this is how they say beef. This is how they say chicken. And then you get to learn about all their different vegetables, a lot of them which we have. So like broccoli will be a different name. So in the act of like working there, you're learning all that stuff. You know, you're reading it on their tags. You're figuring out, okay, well, that's this word applies to you. And then you're surrounded by people. So like in customer service, it is your coworkers that help you a little bit, but you learn. Like I knew Chinese girls that would work for like a year or two, barely knowing any English, and by year 2, they spoke it just as well as anybody else, but with an accent.
Yeah. And I don't know why I just remembered this, but there was a video going around of someone making fun of Japanese, and it's sort of saying, "So, what's the Japanese word for raspberry? Razuberry." It's like, what about the word for blueberry? Brewberry. And what's the word for strawberry? Ichigo. And it's like, why? And Frosted Glass says the trick is you don't speak to Japanese people. I don't think I know any Japanese people.
That would work. You just bow a lot. Just bow and you're fine.
Yeah. I don't think I know any Japanese people, like actually know them. Obviously, I'm aware of Japanese people, but no one that I would say I know. Blue Ice Cream says she likes my Japanese accent.
I didn't.
Saying, so you're saying I can't be Tom Cruise from The Last Samurai? I mean, you can. It'll take you 10 years to learn the language.
Or just do the Tom Cruise route and fake it until you make it.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen The Last Samurai. Is that what he does? He just pretends?
For the most part, they're translating what he says to them and vice versa. Like the Japanese are speaking English to him. It is Tom Cruise, though, so I could see him walking away with some knowledge. Like, he is kind of a nerd that way.
Yes, he is.
So I could see him learning at least some, but, like, it's the consistency thing. Like, working on a movie isn't going to make you necessarily capable of holding a language unless he carried it out. Like, unless he went...
Yeah. I mean, you probably have to have some familiarity just to be able to act, in a movie with any effectiveness. So that kind of makes sense.
I can see he's the kind
of... sorry. Hello to Cryptic in chat. He's just saying
Cryptic. I could see him being the kind of person to move there for like a half a year or something, you know?
Yeah. I can see that.
Rent an apartment and just do the immersion. Because Tom is, like, as much as I don't necessarily love him as a human, as an actor, he's very professional.
Yeah.
Like, very.
See, I have no problem separating the art from the artist. I don't particularly like Tom Cruise as a person. I think he's a lunatic. I think all Scientologists are kind of batshit insane, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say that makes him a bad actor. He's a phenomenal actor. He's just a lunatic who happens to be a phenomenal actor.
Yeah, that's basically how I am with it.
Yeah.
And I don't invalidate his opinions because of his crazy. Like, I do actually think he's intelligent. I just...
Oh, yeah.
His crazy is a little too crazy for me.
Yeah. There's nothing saying that you can't be intelligent and crazy. Like, you've got plenty of intelligent people who believe all sorts of crazy nonsense. I mean, Scientology is proof of that. It's like L. Ron Hubbard literally said he made it because if you want to make $1 million, the way to do it is start your own religion.
And Frosted's like, would it kill them to write with letters instead of those funny little pictures? Also, their books are so. I'm just letting you know, if you were to write their kanji, I still can't do it. I've tried to just see if I could follow how their newspapers would work. It's an entirely different way of reading because you're reading down and up and down and up and down.
No, if they're doing the funny squiggles, I can't read it at all. But if they're doing like English letters to represent the sounds, like if they're writing out konnichiwa, then I know that means hello. But if you do like the funny squiggle that means konnichiwa, then I would not recognize it. And Blue Ice Cream says Tom Cruise seems to care about making decent movies. Yeah. He's from the older generation of actors who actually cares more about a good product rather than pushing ideology.
Well, it's his face on it too. I don't know how many of these young actresses don't get that your face is on the package because you were the main character.
Yeah, but like if you watch a Tom Cruise movie, he's not lecturing you about Scientology. He's
the character.
Yeah. When he's promoting the movie, he doesn't babble on about how wonderful Scientology is. He talks about the movie. As opposed to Rachel Zegler or Millie Alcock, who basically say, fuck you, white people, fuck you, men. Like, this movie's not for you, but you still have to pay money and come and watch it. Like, yeah, okay. Don't do that.
I agree with JB. Tom Cruise would be someone to be fun to have a beer with. I'm not a big drinker, but he'd be fun to have a sit-down beer with. I don't even know that I would give a shit about his Christianity or his Scientology. I think that's the problem, is I couldn't sit there and listen to it with like the grace of. It is a little bit like listening to a crazy Christian or a crazy fanatical anything. Like when you get to that point, I'm like, I can't follow with your philosophy anymore.
Okay, but like, there's nothing wrong with disagreeing with someone like on religious things. Like, when I was working at the bank, I had Muslim friends. I'm not a Muslim. They probably thought I was an infidel. I thought they were wrong in their beliefs. But, I mean, you just don't talk about religion. You can still make friends over other things. And, Silver Ravenwing is saying, if you voted for Trump or are Christian, I don't want you as a fan. Well, you're going to lose a lot of American fans if you have that attitude.
Even The Rock has been saying that. Like, he's like, the biggest regret he had was that he endorsed Biden. And it was like, he's allowed to go and vote for whoever he wants at the ballot box.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, he did shut out a bunch of his fans with that. And even when he did it, I don't think he intended to.
I think with his face, Michael Jordan had the right attitude where he said Republicans buy sneakers too. Because Michael Jordan was like the face of Nike for a long time. And like people were saying, well, why don't you use your platform to promote, democratic values? Like, Republicans buy sneakers too. And Frosted wants me to watch Battlefield Earth. If you find it, send it to me. I've heard wonderful things about how terrible that movie is. So I think I would enjoy watching the train wreck. Oh, and Johnny Hellcat says apparently John Travolta was proud of that movie, which is kind of horrifying.
Like weird aliens.
Yeah, maybe. JB says he can't hate Eminem. Well, that's where I'm better than you, JB. I can absolutely hate Eminem. He does drugs and makes bad decisions, but man, can he rap. That's not a selling point. He makes bad decisions, including in his genre of music. Yeah, no, you're not selling me. Oh, and Frosted says Gavin Newsom could totally redeem himself if he made it illegal for actors to publicly discuss politics or current events. I would change my mind on Gavin Newsom if he did that.
But no, Tier's not wrong. The voting thing should be kept to yourself, and it's not that they can't have a conversation with it. Like I don't agree with that when it comes to the actors and stuff. It's just it's this idea that because they're an actor with money and that means they have influence, that their opinion actually matters.
Well, that's it. See, I don't have a problem. Like if you want to come out and say, I don't want Trump supporters as fans, I honestly think you should be allowed to do that. If you want to halve your potential audience, then that's on you. I do think if you're representing something like a movie where it's not just you that suffers when you fuck up the entire production, I think the production company should be able to sue the actor for destroying their movie. Like, I think Disney should be able to sue Rachel Zegler and say, you actively acted against the best interests of the movie by insulting our fans and dissuading large segments of the population from watching our movie. I think there should be a legitimate lawsuit against her.
Well, especially after they sent out executives to talk to her and try to get her to tone it down.
Yeah.
Like they took steps to be like, hey, you're being unprofessional.
Yeah. No, I think like if you're a solo artist and you want to only appeal to, disabled, gay, black, lesbians, yeah, have fun. Do what you want. It's just that if you're part of a larger production, I do think the production company should be able to sue the fuck out of you if your behavior acts against the best interests of the production. Then yeah, there should be a lawsuit.
It's also Hollywood needs to get over this thing with the ugly women phase.
Yeah, that's also true. But see, this is where I did like Thierry's saying problem is Disney agrees with her politics, so they would be attacking her. That's not even a problem. If Disney is okay with her telling the audience to fuck itself, then okay, there's no lawsuit. They just accept that their audience is angry lesbian feminists. And if they are happy only selling to angry lesbian feminists, who cares? Let them do that. They can have whatever tiny fragment of an audience they desire. It's the same with like people are complaining that Rockstar is charging too much for Grand Theft Auto 6. Let them charge $1 million for it if they want. If they want to price themselves out of the market, then have fun. Like if people are willing to pay it, it's not overpriced. If they're not willing to pay it, then you either lower the price or you don't make any money. This is not an ethical problem. Just let the market be the market.
Some of it I do think is the DEI hiring that everyone's done.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think that should be illegal because I don't think you should be able to discriminate. Well, sort of, it's difficult because on the one hand, I do think you should be able to hire and fire anyone you want for any reason. But I can see the problem when it becomes systemic to this level where a large, like 60% of the population is unemployable because people are just refusing to hire them. At that stage, it does become a problem.
I think it's not just that. Like the DEI hiring that they were doing for years had people in positions where they were hiring.
Yeah.
So DEI hiring, worse DEI hiring, and then
yeah,
they do technically have laws now against that. Like Trump basically leaned on them to stop with the DEI. It's why they've been trying to change the name.
Yeah, but like the problem that I have with DEI is then like once they run out of minorities to hire, instead of saying, okay, let's hire the native population, they just import more minorities and hire them. That's fundamentally the problem. Because if all it was black people and gay people get first dibs, that's still stupid, but it would be a self-correcting problem because there's only so many of those going around. But if they're like, damn, we've run out of local minorities, let's ship in 1 million more and and only hire them, then you're causing massive problems in your society. And yeah, Frosted says private businesses should be allowed to discriminate how they want. I agree. I just think once it gets to this level, I mean, it's still like you should still be allowed to do it, I guess. But once it gets to this level, society's going to collapse. So you're going to have to stop. And yes, JB is pointing out that we have in fact hit our time limit. We have. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you, Jen, for keeping me company.
Sorry I was late.
That's all right. We will see you guys next week.
See you guys. Have a good one. Avoid the heat.
Yes, do that.